Hi guys, I'm Shmee, back in Europe after my trip to America with Gumball 3000, and for a couple of events and activities and places I'm going around here, Ford have very kindly lent me a new Mustang 5-litre V8 to drive around. So this is a pretty interesting car. It's coming out later in this year in Europe. For the first time, we're going to have a Mustang officially for sale on European soil. Obviously, previously they've just been imported and the like, but this car is coming out here. And in the UK at least, this particular model is just £33,000. And that's with a 412 brake horsepower, 5-litre V8. And there's also the 2.3-litre EcoBoost model as well coming in under that. So it's rather special because that's a lot of power for not very much money. That sort of price tag often gets you into diesel saloons. Whereas here we're looking at something rear-wheel drive, makes a pretty awesome sound, looks kind of cool. And the UK, or the European model, has the white rear lights. And I think it's sort of kind of interesting what's going to happen here. Almost surprised it hasn't been done before. So the 2015 Mustang, obviously revised appearance, very aggressive front grille that sort of leans over forward over the pony badge in the centre. This particular car is on German plates because we've been driving from Frankfurt. Let's take a quick look at the inside. So we've got the key here, Mustang key. Now I can put that straight in my pocket. It's keyless, touch here, you can hear it unlocking and open up. So the interior, I was a little bit worried it might be sort of on the cheap and nasty end, I suppose. That's sort of the reputation, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's not the sort of most luxurious interior you'd ever find in a car, but we've got pretty good Recaro seats. Just step in. There's a lot of stuff we can go through in these menu systems up here, which is quite nice as well. Full sort of touchscreen setup, pretty nice feel on the gear stick. And everything's not too bad, you know, it's quite nice trims and lights, different bits and bobs. Not the biggest fan of that glove box system, could be better. But it's not bad at all, you know. And you do have to remind yourself that this is a car that's sort of in the £30,000. It's not hugely expensive, and for that price bracket it's just amazing. Let me just fire this up and show you how it sounds, which is done obviously foot on the brake and the clutch. Hit the engine start button. It doesn't sound half bad at all then, and we have this control panel here, this jog dial, that lets us go through a number of different settings and sort of modes and menus on here, and you can see so much information. Usual sort of stuff, trip kind of stuff, fuel history for the last 30 minutes. This is really quite impressive how much there is to play with. Accelerometer, okay. Brake performance, acceleration timer. I'm just literally going through line lock. That's the burnout sort of mode where it literally just burns up some tread. Got launch control. You can customize the RPM your launch control starts at. What else do we have? There's just a whole lot of stuff, and I think that's kind of fun to have so many configurable options and things in a car like this. I personally love playing around with this stuff. You can see some driving stats and trip numbers and things going on there. And then down here we've got the Nav System, which has a few different modes, entertainment, radio and stuff on the bottom left. Let me just mute that down so we don't get in trouble. If we go back to home, we've got phone stuff, we've got compass set on here, the air conditioning kind of settings, bring up navigation, don't use while driving. Found this has worked pretty well as well. We've been playing around with it a bit. So on the inside it has lots of toys. You've got some mode settings. If you press up on this one here, you can see it on the display. It goes through normal, sport plus, track and snow wet mode, and I find those make a good sort of interaction to your driving. You've got some steering feel settings, normal, sport and comfort. I've been in sport. We've got traction off and the warning lights and stuff as well. So this is all pretty nice. Everything's neatly set out, and I love how much stuff there is to play with. It's just all round cool. And apart from that, we've got everything pretty much where you'd expect it, all the usual kind of stuff. There are a lot of buttons on the steering wheel. That jog dial stuff, the cruise control settings, your phone controls, and then some more media controls. So there's a lot to press. Probably find yourself pressing the wrong buttons many times to start. But let's take it out for a little drive. On board the Mustang V8 then, and by far the most standout feature is the noise of that V8. I don't know how they've done it. 5 litres, 412 brake horsepower, 0 to 62 is about 4.5 seconds. That's some pretty impressive performance, especially when, again, you consider the price point. It just doesn't add up how you can have this much sort of fun and driving enthusiasm. Just listen to this. Just quick little blips in a little bridge there, and we've got another one coming up. You just want to keep doing it all the time, and especially with the manual gearbox. Maybe I'll just drop it down a gear here. And get ready, and get ready. I don't know how to describe how much fun it is, and I can't get over that sort of, I guess, smiles for the cost kind of thing. It's way above a lot of other stuff. 400 horsepower, that's a lot. From a ride point of view, it's pretty comfortable. Obviously, being an American car, it's quite soft, quite smooth. Cornering wise, you dial up the settings. We've got a dial for steering. We can put it in normal sport and comfort. If I put it in sport, it drives pretty nicely. The same again goes with drive mode. You can turn everything up into Sport Plus. So from a driving point of view, it's really good as well. I love playing with everything we've got in front of us, all the settings, all the different things, and from some miles on the road, it's been a pretty good place to sit as well. The seats are nicely side bolstered. Long distance driving, no issue at all. The bonnet does seem to move around a little bit at speed when we've been on the Autobahn and the like, but it doesn't seem to affect anything particularly badly. Obviously we've got the fastback body on this car, so we've got the 2 seats in the rear. There's a big boot in the back as well. Everything's sort of how you expect it to be, put together quite nicely. No major dramas and certainly no complaints. It just comes back to that, how much car it is for not very much money. I'm sure even when you've added some spec, you're still not exactly looking at a particularly pricey car, and it just sounds insane. Now, if you're a proper driver, you want a car to go out and enjoy, listen to that. I don't know what else you really want. I mean, I'm sure the EcoBoost is a brilliant car as well, because that gets you all the looks and the excitement and all the sort of features and so on of the EcoBoost. Of the Mustang in the EcoBoost. But the V8, well, it's a 5 litre V8. I don't really need to say anything else. Yeah, it may be high on emissions. Well, it's not even that high on emissions, but relatively. But if you're just going to enjoy the car, drive it, and have some fun, I don't know what else you'd even want. I'm certainly enjoying driving it a lot. Just really impressed, really blown away by how much car it is and how little cost it is. Value for money is just like leagues ahead of anything else. Leagues ahead. Not a bad drive at all then. I think where this car really excels is quite how much value for money you get with this thing. You can also get an auto gearbox if you find the manual a little bit too much work, but it's phenomenal that they can make a 400 horsepower car that sounds that good, looks this cool, and only costs in the £30,000. That's just bonkers. And I'm sure it's going to be a pretty big success. We've certainly enjoyed driving it, being part of some supercar activities. And in the red, it looks awesome. So I'm sure some of you out there are watching, thinking about this car. I guess it's sort of, one of those ones, not everybody watching all these videos can go and buy every Bugatti, Koenigsegg and Pagani, but this is perhaps a little bit more reachable, and I would thoroughly recommend it if you're looking for something that's pure fun and smiles and has that sound without being crazy, crazy expensive. So I'm pretty impressed with my first drive in the new Mustang V8. Hopefully get to spend some more time with them in due course, but I hope you enjoyed the video and a look at it, and thank you very much for watching. I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers!